Hey guys, today we're going to be working on a linear algebra sample test. Uh, I'm going to be taking this through a couple of videos. You'll see them more posted on the links below. For this video, I want to focus on reduced row echelon forms, what they are, and the difference between a row echelon form. And I have these two questions we can work through. So, to begin, you can find a definition for reduced row echelon form on the internet, and you'll find very complicated definitions. But basically, as simple as it can be, a row reduced echelon form looks something with the ones and zeros, right? It's clear in the sense that there's leading ones on the top and on the bottom, and they're reduced as much as it can possibly be reduced, and you get a more like x equals 2 entry or y equals 3 entry, and you get a straightforward answer. You can reduce it as much as possible. And for a row echelon form, is more of the where the zeros are below the first diagonal of the ones. So if you have 1, 0, 1, 3, 2, 1, this would be a row echelon form. So that's the difference between that. Now, going to number one, when we go over number one, we have these four different chances of getting reduced row echelon form. First of all, we can limit our possibilities by first crossing out this one, because we have a 0 over here, and that doesn't make sense. This should be the 0 and this should be the 1. So we can cross out this possibility, which already kind of crosses this out, and that's okay for now. Over here, this is the definition of a row echelon form, so we can cross IV out. Okay, we can cross IV out of the equation, and this is gone. In a sense, this is a reduced row echelon form. Why is that? Is because we have a 0 here. You can tell that this person has tried their best in order to reduce the matrix, and maybe this is the most it can be reduced. And this does look like a row reduced echelon form, so I'm going to circle that as a possibility. And now we're going to go to this one. This one is also a row reduced echelon form. Why? Well, we have leading ones. You have a leading one here. You have a leading one here. And that's correct. It's not a very square matrix, so you will not expect to get the leading ones in a diagonal, but that's okay, because that's fine. And this person also has tried to reduce this as much as it can be reduced. So our answer would be already limited just to the answer D. There we go. And so now, since you have a basic understanding of what a reduced row echelon form is and a row echelon form and the difference between them, we're going to actually find the reduced row echelon form of the following matrix. To do that, what we're going to start with is, I'm going to rewrite this just so we can get a nicer, clear picture. So it's 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, -1, -7, and then 2. To begin, what's the first thing we can do to begin? What I like to do to begin is always simplify the first row to get a 1. So I would really like to simplify this right here and get a 1. So we can just do that by 1/2 times the first row, changes the first row, right? And what does that give us, man? That gives us 1, 1/2, minus a half, 0, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, -1, -7, and then 2. That's great. Now we can start reducing this row by doing negative R1 plus R2 changes R2. So we want to reduce this, and we get a 1, 1 half, negative half, 0, 0. You can do this on the side, and you would get 5 over 2, okay, and then you would get 11 over 2, and you would get over here, you would get a 1. Okay, and then we're going to have bottom here 3 negative 1s, copy that down, and a 2. Sorry for it's a little bit messy, just excuse that. Now we're going to multiply the first row. We're going to start clearing up this row, and we're going to do that by multiplying the first row by negative 3 and adding that with the third row, which changes the third row, and that should give us a 0 here, 0 here, 1 here, 1 half, negative half, negative 11 over 2, and then 1, and we have a negative 1, and we have what here? We have a negative 5 over 2, negative 11 over 2, and we have a just a 2 here. Let me clear up some of this mess. So the next step what we can work on is actually I want to get a 1 in the second row. So in this row I actually want to get a leading 1, because that's our plan, right? We want to just get leading 1s and work from there. One thought you may have would be to start reducing the third row. You might have the idea where you would start simplifying the second row without simplifying the start simplifying the third row without simplifying the second row first. You really don't want to get into that, because what you want to do is you want to simplify from the top down. It makes life easier. The steps are cleaner. So yeah, let me continue. If I go ahead and multiply the second row by 2 over 5, right? And that changes the second row. What we will get is 1, 1 half, negative a half, 0, 0, 1, right? If you keep on working on this, you would get an 11 over 5 over here, and a 2 over 5. And again, at the bottom, you have negative 5 half, negative 11 half, and then 2, and you would get a 0 here. Going over here, you would get a. Now, if I want to get rid of this right here, what we can do is multiply the second row by 5 half and add that with the third row, which should change the third row. And that should just be 1, 1 half, negative a half, 0, 0, 1, 11 over 5, 2 over 5, and there should be 0, 0. Over here, you would get also a 0. And over here, you'd get a 3. Okay, so now we're almost there. We're getting there, and I'm just going to clear up the third row to get a 1. So I'm going to multiply the third row by 1 over 3. Okay, because we want it as clear as possible, because reduced row echelon form. 1, 1 half, negative a half, 1, 11 over 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2 over 5, and then 0. Okay, so now what's left? We've worked down. Now we have to work up, and to do that, what we can start with is we can multiply the second row with 1 half, right? when we do that, now we can basically add this with the we can negative a half, and we can add this with the third row, changes the first row. I'm gonna add this with the first row, which changes the first row. Right? What do we get? We get 1, 0. You know, you get 11 and then you would get a 0, 1. This would stay. Okay, this would actually stay, and you get 11. You would get negative 8 over 5. This is gonna stay here. 2 over 5, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, and that's that. And this is the most we can reduce this, and this is in our reduced row echelon form. When you look back at our possibilities, we have C as the answer. I'm going to provide a link for a way to test your answer and see if you did the right steps. The link will be posted below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.